All right, I'm shooting a little video. I thought this would be cool. I've got an EC collection of 24 books here that are going out. These ones are not. These are ones that some of my favorites that I'm not selling. They're displaying them, but all of these have sold to one awesome guy. And so all the ones lined up here are going. I'm throwing in a couple of them back there for free. But these are going to be going with this collection, and I thought I'd make a cool little video because I love ECs. They're literally my favorite. I have a little background going as we show you these classic covers, and I might give you a little information on them as we go. So you're going to hear some background.
They were shocking.
They were horribly gruesome. They were bloody. People were being chopped up and battered with axes. And I'm 9 or 10. I'd never seen anything like this. It was amazing.
Horror comics were, to my little 7, 8-year-old self, they were my pornography. And this was the stuff that I knew I shouldn't be looking at. But, I couldn't give it up.
They were sensational.
They reached deeper and deeper into the springboard barrel. The stories got bloodier and bloodier. Did it go overboard? Yeah, I think so in a couple of spots.
I didn't write it, but I drew it. And I felt very bad about that. Mothers and fathers.
That's Jack Davis, the guy that we're looking at his cover right here with the werewolf.
They were controversial.
I don't know if you're like me. I can fall asleep watching videos like this.
Bad taste? And goes, no, I don't think so. How would it be in bad taste?
Another Jack Davis cover.
Or drop dripping from it. And they nailed him with that.
And ultimately, they were outlawed.
I think they were all completely shocked when
this is the second or third issue of Vault.
Said, you people are the cause of juvenile delinquency.
The horror comics were...
This is a Johnny Craig classic right there.
And the powers that be took advantage of that.
My name is William Gaines.
On April 22nd, 1954, William M. Gaines, publisher of entertaining comics, testified before the U.S. Senate Subcommittee on Juvenile Delinquency.
I was the first publisher in these United States to publish horror comics. I'm responsible. I started them. Some may not like them. That's a matter of personal taste.
These are all original,
It would be just as difficult
1950
to
to early 55. These ones, I don't think any of these. Might be that last issue of Tales from the Crypt coming up, or second to the last, might be a 55 issue.
Are we afraid of our own children? Do we forget that they are citizens too, and entitled to the essential freedom to read? Or do we think our children so evil?
Love this one. Kind of an odd looking, but really cool Al Feldstein cover.
Of robbery to set them to robbery.
Just 4 years earlier, Gaines had revolutionized the medium by launching a new trend in comic books: horror. EC's graphically gory tales, while immensely popular with readers, would soon draw the wrath of both parents and politicians, and threaten to destroy the entire comic book.
Going to be sad to see all these go, but they're going to a great home.
It could be said that Bill Gaines had comics in his blood. His father, Max, was a pioneer in the medium, creating the first comic book, Famous Funnies, in 1934. 4 years later, Gaines joined ranks with Superman publisher Harry Donenfeld and launched a new line, All American Comics. Featuring such superheroes as the Green Lantern and Wonder Woman, the AA line was extremely popular, with sales soaring to over 8 million copies per month. Comic books made Max Gaines a fortune. In early 1945, he sold his share of All American for $500,000.
Second to last issue of Tales.
He created a new company, Educational Comics, or EC, which published such sedate titles as Picture Stories from the Bible. Not surprisingly, EC's sales languished near the bottom of the industry.
educational comics were pretty much like educational everything. Nobody wanted to buy them.
This one's definitely a
That's why
1955
slowly but
issue. It's
surely
where they took
educational comics
weird
morphed
science
into
and weird
entertaining
fantasy and
comics.
condensed them together.
Max Gaines changed his company's name and
Cool book.
direction, but not its fortunes. Sales continued to lag as children ignored EC in droves.
And yes, these are sold.
Bill Gaines also wanted nothing to do with his father's comic books.
They went for a
In
pretty
fact,
penny.
Bill wanted no part of the family business. Max Gaines had an explosive temper, and Bill often found himself the target of his father's wrath.
From all accounts, the relationship between Bill Gaines and his father was a very hard one and a little bit abusive on the edge. Max Gaines had built his comic book company out of nothing and was very impatient with artists and writers, and apparently with his son as well.
He considered Bill the world's biggest klutz. And Bill often tried to live down to that. Max constantly said to Bill, "You'll never amount to anything."
Bill did his best to stay out of his father's way. After a stint in the Army Air
Almost
Corps,
there.
he enrolled at New York University to pursue his teaching credential. Then in 1947, tragedy struck. Max was killed in a boating accident near the family's summer home on Lake Placid. Prodded by his mother, Bill reluctantly took over the reins at EC.
Bill was not enthusiastic
It's
about
got a
the
miswrap
idea.
right there.
His
It's
father
factory.
had been failing. The business
Factory
owed
miswrap.
already about $100,000. Things weren't looking good when he came in.
It's a real pretty one.
And Bill said, "How do you expect me to do this? My father didn't do it, and he was a pretty smart financial guy."
Gaines slowly.
And that one's going in for free. That's a freebie throw in.
With his personal tastes.
And here's a couple, just because it's make this video a little cooler, that are not going in. I got this for my 21st birthday from the guy Richard Parker that bought this originally off the shelf in New York City outside the EC offices. This thing is just in, it's pretty crazy shape. There's a little tiny chip right there that's missing. But other than that, it's like really, I've never seen one this nice. Unbelievable.
But before even one issue was published, the bottom fell out of the teenage craze.
And of
Feldstein
course,
agreed to tear
the
up
classic
contract and
Origin
began
of the
working
Crypt
on
Keeper.
EC's other titles.
Great Jack
Imitations
Davis
of then
cover.
popular romance, western, and crime comics.
I've always liked this one.
A few years of
This one's from a good friend, Randy.
Feldstein.
This was his
and
dad's
Gates
personal
realized
copy.
that this was not the way to go. And they
And-
realized that they had a common love of the old sort of
again.
lights out,
There you go, there's the
sanctum
proof.
radio shows.
Thanks for checking this out.
Light out, everybody. Lights Out brings you stories of the supernatural and the supernormal, dramatizing the fantasies and the mysteries of the unknown.
One of the things that I was always fascinated with was the old radio horror shows from Arch Obler, like The Witch's Tale and Lights Out and Inner Sanctum. And I said, why don't we do kind of gothic horror and comics, scare the pants off the kids?